What's going on? My name is FreerunnerX10 and welcome to a brand new video. So in today's video we're going to be doing a first look at a brand new free-to-play online first-person shooter known as Ironsight. Now Ironsight is being developed by a South Korean games company known as Wiple Games. They were founded in 2010 and so far this is the only game that they have developed or have been developing, and although that is their first game as a company, they do have people working for that company who have had some experience in the gaming industry, and so far from what I've played so far of this game, it is a lot of fun. Now Ironsight is apparently a next-gen military first-person shooter, and while it is a first-person shooter and does have a military theme, it's not really all that next-gen. It's something that has been done before, and that's usually what you see with these free-to-play online first-person shooters. However, if you are looking for a first-person shooter that is free-to-play and is semi-close to Call of Duty, then this might be the game for you. A lot of people tend to play Soldier Front 2 because that is a game which is a very Call of Duty-esque first-person shooter because you can aim down sight, and a lot of people regard that as a game which is semi-like Call of Duty, but I think Ironsight is very, very close to what a free-to-play Call of Duty could be. And although there is a Call of Duty that is free to play that does exist, which is only for the Asian market, this is about as close as you're going to get for the Europe and NA regions. Now like I said, this game is being developed by Wiple Games, and for North America and Europe it is being published by Ariea Games. Now if you're already interested in this game and you'd like to check it out, there is a link in the description below that will take you to the Ironsight website, which is hosted by Ariea Games. All you need to do is create an Ariea Games account, and if you already have an Ariea Games account, sign into it, download the game, update the game, and then launch it, and you're ready to play because it's currently in open beta. It's free to play, so you can go ahead and check this game out right now if you want to. But in this video I'm going to take a look at the game modes, the maps, and just talking about my experience playing the game so far, what I think of the game. Does this game have a possible bright future if they can bring it in the player base? I don't know. Find out when I discuss that and a little bit more in this video. Now the reason why I say this game is very much like Call of Duty is not only because the gameplay very much closely mimics Call of Duty's feeling, but they've also taken certain elements from Call of Duty and incorporated them into this game. For example, within Call of Duty you have the score streak system, and within Modern Warfare 3 you had different score streak packages, and Ironsight has implemented that into their own game, only it's called drones. Now there are two types of drone packages. You have the offensive drone package and the tactical drone package, and they both have different purposes. Now with each drone package you can take in up to 3 drones, so that means you can choose a package tailored to your playstyle. You could have some very small drones that cost very little and you can cycle through very quickly, allowing you to have more of an impact with your drones. Or you could go for a medium package, which is very balanced, meaning you start from a very small drone, which is a cheap price, and work your way up till you get to a big drone, which costs a lot of points. Or you could go all out and have a package that is designed to have all of the most expensive drones. So let's take a look at the offensive drone package in a bit more detail. Starting off with the crawler drone. This drone crawls over low obstacles and deals splash damage to the enemy. Now it has a max travel distance of at least 5 meters before it automatically blows up, so you can't just deploy it, hope it travels halfway across the map and then blows up when it first comes into contact with the nearest enemy. Now it is very buggy. Sometimes it can go up a wall, onto the roof, down another wall, and then blow up in your face, because that did happen to me. Next we have the Firefly drone. This can be thrown and you can control it with a guiding unit in order to deal splash damage to the enemy. Essentially it's a flying ball of death with explosives inside. It's a pretty cool thing to use and allows you to pretty much guide something around the corner and blow somebody up that you know is there. Pretty cool, useful gadget. The next drone is a blade drone. When launched it rises up into the air and can be guided to crash into the enemy, unable to use in buildings or a place with obstacles. Essentially if you fire it in a building it's going to go straight up and it's going to kill you, and you need to be careful when firing it outside. Make sure it doesn't arc up and hit something, otherwise you will have lost that drone streak. Essentially what it is a Predator missile from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. You fire the rocket, it goes up, you can control it. When you're in the air you have red boxes around the enemies so you can see where the enemies are moving to. You have a pretty accurate understanding of where the enemies are going to be traveling to. So essentially what you can do is use this drone to get a pick, kill one person, maybe get a double. I don't know if it's possible to get a triple or a quad kill. When I've been playing, the map flow hasn't been that great, so people haven't been grouped up in order to use this and get a quad kill, unfortunately. But yeah, it is a really cool kill streak, gives you some map knowledge, and you can then rotate to where the enemies are going to come from once you've got a kill with the blade drone. The next drone is known as the striker drone. Essentially, this allows you to mark 3 locations on the map with a tactical tablet, and 3 striker drones will strafe the map at the same time, hitting those locations on the map. So you're going to need some map knowledge and understanding of where enemies are going to be on the map in order to effectively use this score streak. Next up, we have the Hellbird. The Hellbird is essentially a helicopter drone. It flies around in a circle in the area of operation twice, and essentially this is an attack chopper kill streak. You have a minigun, you can zoom in with a minigun, you fire the minigun, and you kill people with the minigun. It does overheat if you hold down the fire button, so you need to be very careful about using this score streak, as it can overheat, meaning that you can't use it for a certain period of time, meaning you're wasting the score streak. One thing that's very annoying about this score streak is the fact that eventually you're going to fly over the enemy's spawn, and in this game there's spawn protection, meaning that if somebody spawns, they do have the time to pull out the launcher, lock onto you, and before you've been able to mow them down, they can fire a rocket to destroy your Hellbird. It takes 2 rockets to destroy the Hellbird, and now of course if they fire a rocket, land a rocket, and the rest of the enemy team shoots at the Hellbird, it's going to go down very, very quickly. Moving on to the last drone for the offensive drone package, you have the Metal Reaper. So basically you call in a ground attack Metal Reaper, which is essentially a heavy drone mech. It comes from a drop ship, and it can have a minigun and rocket launcher, and essentially you can absolutely decimate enemies with this. It's quite easy to destroy though, if you work as a team to destroy it, but it can have a huge advantage over a number of enemy infantry if they are not capable of dealing with the situation. One thing to note about the Metal Reaper is certain areas of the map you cannot gain access to. Certain parts of the map you are too big to fit, or you just can't go into because you'll get stuck, so they're cordoned off. So there are certain areas you can use to go around, but essentially it is a thing that can only be used in certain areas. So next, let's take a look at the tactical package, starting off with the Stalker drone. This drone chases a nearby enemy and displays them on the minimap after being placed. So essentially what this is a little gadget. It crawls around, follows an enemy, and gives away their position on your minimap because it's a personal gadget, and doesn't show enemies that it has detected to other friendlies. It's just for you because it's a personal gadget. Next, we have the Spy drone. The Spy drone escorts the character and displays nearby enemies on the minimap. Next, we have the Jammer drone. The Jammer drone escorts the character and disguises nearby allies so enemy drones cannot detect them. Next, we have the Observer drone. Control the airborne drone remotely across the area of operation to mark the enemy with an indicator visible to your teammates. Next, we have a UAV Recon. The airborne drone circles over the operation area and displays every enemy on the minimap. Next, we have the UAV Jammer. The airborne drone with the jamming system circles over the area of operation and disrupts enemy minimaps. Then we have the Gorgon system. It's a powerful light that blinds the enemy within its area of effect, indicating the enemy's position. Next, we have the Laws. Fires a laser beam to counter airborne or ground enemy attacking drones. It can only affect machines. And last but not least, you have a Zeus. Essentially, this is a drone that hovers in the sky very high up, and it just fires down an energy beam to the ground. It's very hard to control, but a lot of fun to use. So that's it for the tactical drone package. A lot of these drones in here are rehashes of the same sort of idea and concept, which I don't like the idea of, but it does kind of work. You have some drones in here that are for personal use only and give you personal information, and then there's other drones which give information to the entire team and yourself. So I think it's okay, but it could be a little bit better, and that's pretty much it for the tactical drones. So now that I've shown you the drones which are very similar to score streaks from Call of Duty, I'm now going to show you the skills which are very similar to perks from Call of Duty. Now right now in Ironsight there are 3 skill slots, and when you go to a skill slot, the skills within that slot are specific to that slot only, meaning if you go to skill slot 1 and pick a skill, that skill is only going to be available in that slot. If you go to skill slot 2 and 3, you will not find any of the same skills that you found in skill slot 1. So it means skills are specific to that slot. Now the skills are very varied, so it means you can choose skills that fit your playstyle or how you want to play or how you want to customize one of your free classes. So let's take a look at these skills in a bit more detail, starting with skill slot 1. In skill slot 1 you have balance. Balance reduces the recoil by 50% when aiming and increases hold breath time by 100%. You have quick aim, enables you to aim your gun 15% faster. You have quick reload, enables you to reload 30% faster. You have quick switch, enables you to switch weapons 100% faster. And last but not least, for slot 1 you have nimble hands. This increases the speed of throwing / deploying a lethal weapon by 100% and accelerates bomb planting / defusal by 30%. And that's pretty much it for skill slot 1. Moving on to skill slot number 2. In skill slot number 2 you will find marathon. This increases your stamina by 200%, thus you can run much longer. Then you have magazine pouch. This enables you to bring 1 extra lethal weapon and 1 extra tactical gear. Then you have double time. This increases the movement speed by 50% when aiming. And last but not least you have feather steps. This removes the sound of your footsteps when walking. And that's it for skill slot number 2. Moving on to skill slot number 3. In skill slot number 3 you will find long ears. This enables you to hear enemy footsteps much better. Next you will find assassin. This increases your melee weapons accuracy by 10% and extends reach by 15%. Next you will find blast protection. This reduces incoming explosive damage by 40%. And last but not least you will find drone's friend. Drone's friend reduces the required contribution points for deploying a drone by 100 points. And that's it for skills within Ironsight. Perhaps there's going to be more skills coming in the future. Hopefully there's going to be some more drone streaks coming in the future, and hopefully there's going to be a lot there that you can then choose and customize in a bit more detail. It's very limited right now, but it's a very nice base, and I hope that they add some more stuff. It would be nice to see some different drone packages and some different skills. Now, drones and skills are only a small part of the customization that's available to you as a player while playing Ironsight. There is a ton of other customization for your weapon. Right now it seems quite limited, and I hope they expand the weapon customization and make it a little bit more complex, but for right now they have a very good base. Now when it comes to actually playing Ironsight, you can take in up to 3 loadouts into a match. So you could have loadout 1 being an AR, loadout 2 being an SMG, and loadout 3 being a sniper, and then you can customize that loadout to however you want it to play, whether that be an offensive drone package, a tactical drone package, and choosing these skills which benefit you or your weapon. Now when it comes to your primary weapon in Ironsight, you actually have 3 types of customization for that weapon. Now there are different weapon types within Ironsight. You have assault rifles, SMGs, shotguns, LMGs, sniper rifles. Now when it comes to actually using a weapon, when you go into a game and you kill people and you use that weapon, you actually level that weapon up and you unlock attachments for that weapon. Also, you can open supply drops, which you get for leveling up, and you can buy with the gold coins you earn from playing matches, and you can hopefully try and gamble a chance at getting an attachment you want without having to grind to unlock it. I feel like right now, when it comes to actually leveling up your weapons, it's very, very grindy, meaning that you will have to spend a lot of time trying to level up your gun, and when you level up that gun, some of the attachments that you do unlock don't seem to have that much of an effect, and it's really disappointing that they have some basic customization, but it feels like it doesn't really have that much of an impact in certain situations. Now when it comes to actually customizing your gun, you have 3 slots on your primary weapon, and that allows you to take in up to 2 attachments of your choice, and then you can take in a type of ammunition. Now when it comes to the attachments in the game, there are a lot of attachments for different guns. I will show you the attachments on screen, but I'm not going to go over them individually like I did for the drones and the skills, because they're not really that interesting. All I know is it takes a long time to level up the weapons, and leveling up the weapons is a pain, and most of the attachments you do get are maybe scopes, so that's sort of a cosmetic difference, but some of them that actually adjust the stats, they're very minute and don't feel like they actually do anything to benefit you using the weapon. Now as for ammo types, there are 2 types of ammo. You have armor piercing bullets and soft point bullets. Now if you're using an AR and a submachine gun, you want to go with soft point bullets and armor piercing for shotguns and definitely sniper rifles. rifles. Now when it comes to soft point bullets, a lot of people have claimed that soft point bullets cause a lot of aim punch. Now aim punch in Ironsight is very jarring and very off-putting. Now when playing Ironsight, you'll notice that the time to kill at close range is within milliseconds. You can literally spray someone and they're dead in a couple of milliseconds at point blank. But then when you have longer range engagements, medium to long range, you start noticing that it actually takes a long time to kill somebody from that range. Now when I actually sprayed a wall, I noticed that there wasn't really a recoil pattern, the bullets just was very central, and it was fine. So I wondered why when I was shooting at a long range my bullets were just disappearing. It seems like the time to kill is very long, and it shouldn't be as long as it is when it comes to medium to long range engagements. You should be able to possibly two-tap someone in the head from medium to long range. Maybe that's a bad idea, but that's my understanding of how it probably should be. It just seems that right now medium to long range is very slow, but close range is very fast. So TTK varies depending on range, and that kind of sucks. So if you're definitely using an AR or SMG, you want to be using those soft point bullets because they are going to give you an advantage. You're going to aim punch the enemy and it's going to jar them a bit. I'm not a big fan of the aim punch in this game. It does feel very jarring and it's quite annoying. I've played CSGO before. The aim punch in CSGO is not that bad. Most of the time you have armor to counter that aim punch anyway, and I feel like in this game it's just very off-putting. But that's just me personally. It's like a cosmetic thing. I'm not very fond of the animations within this game when it comes to running and switching weapons. They seem a bit meh. Next, let's take a look at the game modes and maps within Ironsight. So starting off with the types of game modes, you have PvE, which are referred to as missions, and then you have match, which is PvP. There's also a ranked battle mode, which essentially you join, you play 10 placement games. It's a ranked mode of search and destroy, and when you get your placements done, you get some kind of specific rank when you play ranked battles, and I presume that matches you against people of the same skill. Now when it comes to missions or PvE, you have a PvE mission tutorial, which basically shows you how to play the game, how to play a first-person shooter, runs you through the basic mechanics of the game, controls, and also just shows you what Ironsight has to offer. Then you have PvE mission EMP. You have to reactivate the EMP generator and neutralize the Sentinel troops. Then you have PvE AI Team Deathmatch Easy, and then PvE AI Team Deathmatch Normal. There's no hard difficulty or extreme difficulty, a difficulty that is harder than normal. It would be nice to see some future game modes arrive in PvE, for example, maybe a wave-based survival game mode, maybe that'd be zombies, aliens, perhaps there'll be some missions, story missions where you can queue with 4 players or more, and then you can complete a mission by going from start to end. You follow a story and maybe there's multiple missions that you can do which, you know, expand on this story, and perhaps when you complete those missions on a certain difficulty, you're rewarded with some kind of item that you can use for a limited time period, maybe a cosmetic item that maybe is permanent depending on the difficulty you do it at. That'd be something that would be pretty cool to see. Then we're moving on to match, which is the PvP game modes. You have Team Deathmatch. Obviously Team Deathmatch is where you have to eliminate the enemy team. You gain score from eliminating the enemy team, and it's the first team to reach the max amount of score that wins the match. Then you have Search and Destroy. You have to destroy or secure one of the 2 objectives to win the battle. This mode you play in ranked games, and well, obviously is something that is going to be part of the competitive scene if Ironsight ever develops a competitive scene, which might become a thing, seeing though a lot of other free-to-play online first-person shooters do have somewhat of a competitive scene. Search and Destroy obviously is a round-based game mode, and you have bomb site A, bomb site B. You have the attacking team who have to plant the bomb or eliminate the defending team, and the defending team has to defend the bomb being planted or defuse it if it is planted, while also trying to eliminate the enemy team. Next we have Secure Point. Secure Point is basically where a point will appear on the map, and what you have to do is go to that point and then stay in the circle capture area and capture it, and essentially you're playing tug of war. There is a bar on the screen and in the center is a line, and you need to make sure that your blue bar is over that line, and if you reach the end and knock off all of the enemy's capture progress, then you win that round. or you can wait until the round timer counts down to 0, but make sure that your team's color is across the middle bar and you will win a round. It's the first team to win 3 rounds that wins the entire match. Next we have resource takeover. Essentially both sides are competing for resources and score. You gain resources by neutralizing sentinels and metal reapers, and they appear on certain places in the map. You destroy those metal reapers and sentinels and they drop resources. You collect the resources by walking over the icon, and that adds to your total amount of resources, and it's the first team to reach the maximum amount of resources that wins the match. Then of course, like I said, there's ranked battle. Essentially you queue for competitive matches. You have 10 placements. Once you've done those 10 placements, you should get a rank, and that rank should be equivalent to what your skill is within Ironsight, and basically in that game mode you're only playing search and destroy. Moving on to the maps. Now right now in Ironsight there are a total of 8 maps. Now I'm not really a big fan of the maps in this game. Some of them are okay, some of them have their flaws. I mean, most of them have their flaws, and I feel like the map design could be a little bit better. I feel like sometimes when you're playing matches of Team Deathmatch and Secure the Point, things are just placed there because they can be placed there and it doesn't feel right. For example, in Secure the Point, on certain maps you'll just be in a choke point where it's just a massive amount of grenade spam and no way to counter it. You may have blast protection on, one of the skills, but that won't save you because of the amount of nades that are being spammed. I noticed that some of the spawn points tend to switch around very infrequently, meaning that you could be in what is your spawn and then push out a teeny bit, and then an enemy will spawn behind you in certain cases, or someone will pass by a certain area which will cause somebody to spawn behind you, and that is very frustrating. So hopefully there can be some adjustments to the maps to make them a little bit better. Now as of right now, like I said, there's 8 maps. You have Titan, Cloud9, Mart, Oceanfront, Dam, Outpost, Island and Airport. Now these maps look pretty good. The game itself is graphically okay. It's nothing that is technologically groundbreaking, but the game looks okay and performs okay. I have everything on low because I want to try and get the best optimal performance. One thing I find annoying about the actual graphics settings within Ironsight is they're basically just a preset. So you have like the highest graphical quality setting and then the lowest, and then you have everything in between, but you can't actually customize the settings yourself, which is quite annoying because I'd like the actual certain things to be enabled that may not be enabled on the lowest setting. The ability to customize graphics settings needs to be something that should be added. So that's pretty much it. That's what Ironsight has to offer. This is the closest to Call of Duty any free-to-play online FPS game has ever been. So if you're definitely looking for a free-to-play online FPS game that is like Call of Duty, then definitely give Ironsight a go. I mean, why wouldn't you? It's a free-to-play game. Now there are a few issues with this game which I'm going to talk about right now, and these are some things that I've noticed and sort of things that I guess are going to be my suggestions to what needs to be fixed, and also I'm going to talk about some things that could be added and changed and implemented to make the game a little bit more better cosmetically. But anyway, first off, netcode. Netcode is a big issue in the game right now from what I can tell. I've died round corners several times, so I believe there's either an issue with the netcode or server tick rate. I'm not sure what it is, but it's very, very bad. If you have a game that is a first-person shooter, chances are the majority of the players who are going to be playing that game are going to be competitive players, people who want to play that game to get better at that game. They love that game, they want to improve at that game, and if they have issues like netcode where the game just has issues where you can get shot round corners, that's not competitive. People hate that, and that definitely needs to be addressed and fixed. Also, like I said earlier, time to kill is a big issue in this game. At close range you can kill someone in a couple of milliseconds, but when you take fights at medium to long range with an AR and SMG, those fights are just awful. The time to kill is very slow. I get taking medium to long range fights with an SMG and why that would be bad and why the time to kill would be a lot lower, but when you have an AR, that's kind of really, really bad when the AR is the same as the SMG. So I hope that they sort out the time to kill and make it a little bit faster. If you are somebody in a medium to long range engagement, chances are that's where you're going to be sniping. Medium to long range sniping is absolutely amazing in this game. Also, close range sniping is possible. You can quickscope people, and snipers are one-shot chest shot, one-shot headshot in most cases. There are some times where I've hit somebody in the chest and they haven't died instantly, but I feel like that's an issue with netcode and just the game being slightly desyncy at times. Now, one thing that I also find annoying about the gunplay, like I said, at close range it's very easy to kill people, but something I found very, very precise is the fact that the hip fire in this game is absolutely precise. It's very, very precise, and it's annoying that it's so precise because you have aim down sights, but aim down sight seems like some kind of cosmetic thing that you don't really want to use because the hip fire is very, very accurate. Also, the hip fire being so accurate just nullifies some of the attachments that exist in the game, like the laser pointer that you put on your gun to help you with hip firing. That just seems pointless. One thing that I also found very annoying when actually playing the game and playing with the weapons is the weapons have levels. You level up the guns, and the guns unlock attachments for the levels that you level up to, and those attachments literally have no effect on the gun. The changes that those attachments have are very minute, that they don't affect anything. So although you're customizing your weapon and you have this basic customization, you have the scopes, they're purely cosmetic, and then the things that actually you can use to change your weapon are very minute changes. Something that I'd say is a big change though would be the extended mag, because you're getting more bullets, but other than that, everything else is just so minute that it's irrelevant. And because it takes a long time to actually grind the levels on the weapons, it's just not worth it. It's just silly. And so I'm going to sit down and play with one weapon, level that up to the max level possible, unlock all the attachments, and hopefully test them out. And one thing that I also would like implemented is some kind of testing environment, some kind of training area where you can train your aim against bots, different targets, because that's something that is nice to use to warm up and to test certain things and get a feel for things and practice certain things without having to deal with online players. I know there's an AI mode which you can also play to train, but an actual test range would be pretty cool to be able to test certain weapons, see stats of weapons, see certain things that you wouldn't normally see when you're playing an actual multiplayer match. Another thing that's annoying about the actual gameplay of the game when it comes to reloading, when you press the reload button, that's it, you're reloading. No matter if you run around a corner while reloading and you need to stop reloading, or you see someone while you're reloading, you need to stop, you're reloading. You're constantly reloading. Until you finish that reload animation, you're reloading. So that is a problem in this game, because I've been in a situation where I killed someone, needed to reload, but then at the same time I needed to cancel that reload so I can sprint away, get out of that situation, and then reload or switch to my secondary, and you just can't do that. Once you hit the reload button, you're reloading until you've reloaded. So that's something that needs to be changed and implemented, so you can cancel the reload, you can cancel throwing nades, cancel maybe switching to a certain weapon. Maybe if you hit the switch key and then you switch back, it will be faster at switching back to the weapon you had out already. That would be something that would be nice to have in the game, because like I said, reloading and cancelling that reload isn't possible, and it needs changing. Also, something that needs changing is the graphics settings. Right now you have preset graphics settings, you have the maximum amount of graphics setting, which makes everything look absolutely beautiful, as people call it, but not really, because some of the effects in games where you put your settings on the maximum possible settings are just disgusting, or at least I find them disgusting, like motion blur and just different lighting and shading is absolutely annoying sometimes. So you have presets. I've got everything on low to get the best optimal performance. I like my FPS high and my game to look like trash, and so far with everything on low, the game actually looks pretty decent anyway, and the game does actually run really well anyway. So I probably could get away with playing the game on high, but I just really want everything on low so I can get the best possible FPS. But like I said, graphics settings are just presets, so it'd be nice to actually have a customizable graphics options menu where you can change every individual option and you can change different things that will help you have a custom profile of graphics settings. Also, FOV can only go up to, I believe, a maximum of 90, and that kind of needs to be increased. I want to mess around with FOVs and see what plays better on this game. FOVs for me is something which I don't keep the same same FOV in certain games. Like, it's not something that's for me transferable. It feels different in different games, so I like to play around. And when I have it on 90, I feel like I could probably go to about 103 maybe. That's pushing it, but yeah, it's something that maybe needs changing. Definitely for somebody who has a larger monitor, it's a pain to play at 90 FOV, especially if you've got something that's like, I don't know, a 27-inch monitor. That's not really that big of a step up from 24, but you know, being able to adjust that FOV is very, very beneficial for a lot of people who have larger monitor sizes, dimensions. Something also that needs to be changed is faster health regen, I believe. That's something that I found very, very annoying. So if you take a fight and you're low HP, it takes a while for your health to go back up, and this really just ruins the fluidity of the game. The maps for me are okay, they could be improved, and I feel like map flow is a problem in this game, mainly because of the way the maps are designed and mainly the way your health regenerates, because you take a fight, you're low HP, and then you have to sit out of another couple of fights for about 30 seconds, maybe 40, and you just sat there waiting for your health to tick back up to full health, or at least enough that you can take another fight confidently without dying. And so I feel like the health regen is very, very slow and needs to be a lot quicker. There's some issues with some of the drones, especially the crawler drone. Crawler drone seems to just be terrible. It goes about 5 meters and then blows up. It's kind of useless. You have to use it when you know somebody's there. It also is very glitchy and can just fly off the map, and it'll just be walking in the air and then it'll just blow up, and that's that drone wasted because it takes a while to get it. So I feel like that's something that can be changed. I also feel like the UAV drones for the tactical drone package are not that easy to obtain. I feel like UAVs should be semi-easy to obtain, and if you can't obtain them very quickly, it's kind of something where they're lost. And I feel like in a game mode where you've got search and destroy and you've got these drone packages, I feel like UAVs are very, very crucial for certain situations. I also feel like the game lacks game modes right now. There are a few game modes in there which are okay. I'm not really going to be playing a lot of Secure the Point because I feel like it's a terrible game mode, and it's just a game mode about throwing grenades and spamming grenades in certain locations and just spamming nades, and that's it. That's all you do in that. Maybe you kill a few people, you die, and you try and capture the point and repeat that. And I don't really like that game mode. There was another game mode in the closed beta which was Domination, which obviously is a 3-point capture area. You capture it, you hold that flag, and then you move to other ones to try and capture it and then defend the flags until you reach a certain amount of points from holding the majority of the flags over time. And that was something that was in the closed beta but has vanished from this open beta. Don't know where that's gone. Hopefully it comes back. Also, I know there are a number of maps, at least I think I can count 2 extra maps that do exist, maybe 3. I think it's 2. I've seen 2 in the trailer. One where you've got a cart that goes from one side of the map to the other, I believe, and it's sort of like a hanging cart, and that isn't in the game right now. And there's also a map which is like some kind of consulate. There's a few cop cars outside. You see one of the blade drones hit the building and attempt to try and kill some enemies inside of it. That also isn't in the game right now, so maybe that will come in the future. Also, I feel like there should be more cosmetic items in the game and more cosmetic customizations. I feel like you should be able to customize your weapon with whatever camos you want. You can buy different camos and then maybe put them on. Maybe it's preset camos, maybe there's camos that you can then just place on certain parts of your gun and then combine camos. That'd be pretty cool. Maybe you can have sort of like little emblems that you can put on your gun, stickers maybe, also little trinkets that dangle from your gun similar to Rainbow Six Siege. That would be pretty cool. Also the ability to customize your character a bit more. I feel like there is one customizable character preset which is actually male, and there isn't a female one. Female one doesn't exist, so it'd be nice to actually have a male customizable character and a female one that you can change between genders. So the customizable character is currently male, and I feel like you should be able to change the gender of it. Should be more hair types, skin colors. Hopefully there'll be more actual customizable items. And other than that, I feel like weapon customization, like I said, needs to be a bit better. Like I said, it's very redundant. Certain things just change things minute, don't have a major effect, and that kind of sucks. So hopefully some of that stuff gets addressed and gets changed. and hopefully they better the game. I'll definitely check this game out in the future because it is a lot of fun. It does remind me of Call of Duty, and it's the closest thing you can get to a free-to-play Call of Duty. So if you would like to check out this game, it is linked in the description below. This is my first look at this game. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did in fact enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like. Unfortunately, if you didn't enjoy this video, there's always the dislike button, and as always, if you'd like to see more content like this or more content by me, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I will see you in my next video.